Hey guys, welcome back. So in this tutorial, we'll be solving the next question from our LeetCode SQL 50, question number 180, consecutive numbers. So here's the question. We have this table called logs with two columns. So we have the ID and the number. ID is type integer and then number is type just varchar. And ID is just an auto increment. So it's just an identity column. So it's starting from 1, so you'll have 1 2 3. So when you get new columns, you'll get like a new identity. So here's a question: find all numbers that appear at least 3 times consecutively. Okay, return the result table in any order, so we don't have to sort it or anything. The result format is in the following example. So here's an example input and output. So we can see we have this logs table, so we have all the IDs here and all the numbers here. And you see 1 here, it's occurring 3 times, so 3 times in a row. So 1 1 1, so we'll count it as 1. So 1 is occurring 3 times. And we have 2 here, but it only occurs once and then it breaks off. Then we have 1 here just 1 time, so we won't count it. And then we have 2 here again, but it only occurs 2 times, so we won't count it as a recurring number that's recurring 3 times. So we only count this one. So the answer would be just 1. So explanation: 1 is the only number that appears consecutively for at least 3 times. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back to our SQL Server Management Studio, where I have already created the table, the logs table, and I'm just selecting from this table. So you see we have all the IDs and all the numbers. So let's start writing our query. But before we do that, let's understand what we are trying to do here. So what we want to do is, for every number, we want to check the previous number. So here we want to check the previous number, but of course there's no number existing before that. So let's say for ID number 2, we want to check what the previous number was. So we can do actually, and for that we can actually just self join the table, because we have all the information in the same table. So we can join the table to itself, and that's what a self join is. So we are going to join this table with itself on ID, but we are going to join it with ID minus 1. So for this row, we'll just join it with 1. And for 3, we'll join it at 2. And we'll just check if the numbers are the same. Okay, hope that makes sense. So let's start writing our query here. So I'm just going to do select all from logs, and let's just give it an alias. Let's just call it L1. Now what I want to do is I want to join it with itself. So let's just do inner join, because we only want to see numbers that are occurring 3 times. And if it's not there, we don't care. So no need of like a left join. So we can join it with itself using inner join. So I'm going to join it again with itself. So this is a self join. And then here I'm just going to give it a different alias. So I'm just going to call it L2. And we are going to join it on what? First condition is the number should be the same. So L1.num should be equal to L2.num. And we want to join it with the previous ID. So how can we get the previous ID? We can just do L1.id equals L2.id, but here we want to do a -1, because here we want to join 2 with 1, 3 with 2. So we just subtract 1 ID from here. So we'll just join it on L1 ID equals L2.id -1. So for example, here we'll join it with 3. On ID number 5, we'll join it with 4. And then for every row, for every match, we're checking if the number is the same. Okay, hope that makes sense. So this is going to give you any number that are occurring 2 times in a row. So if we execute this is going to give you all the numbers that are occurring 2 times in a row. So here we see number 1 is occurring 2 times in a row. So here it happens once, and then again here it happens twice, and then not this 2 but this 2. So we see 1 1 2. But here what we are trying to do is we are trying to get 3 numbers in a row. This is only going to give us 2 numbers in a row. So for that, what we can do is we can simply repeat this thing. So let me just copy this here. So what we are trying to do is we want to join this with 2 and then this 2 with 1. So I am just gonna, let me just copy paste it here, and then I'm gonna join it again with logs table. I'm gonna give it a different name, L3, and this L3 I'm gonna join it with L2. L2 equals L3.num and L2.id equals L3.id minus 1. And here's what I'm trying to do. So for example, here on the third number, we're checking it with the previous number. So we are checking with ID number 2. And then on ID number 2, we are checking it on its previous ID. So we are repeating this step 2 times. So we can get 3 consecutive numbers. And of course, we are joining the numbers where L2.number equals L3.num and L1.num is equal to L2.num. Okay, hope that makes sense. So let's execute it now. So now we are only getting one number. And here we can just get it from L1.num. And I'm just going to do a distinct, because what if that number is repeating here again? For example, if we start getting 1 and 1 here, we only just want to show it once. We don't care if it's repeating there 3 times, multiple times. We only want to count it as 1. So I'm just going to do L1.num and let's give it an alias. We are going to call it consecutive numbers, consecutive nums. Let's execute it now. Okay, so 1 is the only number that's happening there 2 times. And just to demonstrate, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert 2 more rows here, or actually 3 more rows here with 4, just so you can see. So I'm just going to insert into logs, and I'm just going to say ID, next ID would be 8, and then I'm going to insert a 4. Then I'm going to insert 9 again with a 4. So I'm just gonna insert it 2 times. Values. Okay, I'm just gonna insert 2 rows. So if we execute it now, we see we have a 4 here now, but it's only happening 2 times. So if we execute our query here, we are not gonna see that 4. But let me just insert one more here with a 10. So I'm just gonna do 10, 4. Now 4 is gonna be repeating 3 times. So let's see our source table now, the logs table. So we see 4 here is repeating here 3 times. So now 4 is also going to show up. So let's execute it now. See, we see 1 and 4 here. So our query is working perfectly. Okay, hope this makes sense. So I'm just going to copy this query here. Okay, we are going to come back to our LeetCode and I'm going to paste my solution here. Let's execute it now. Okay, ran successfully. If you found this helpful, please leave a like and comment and subscribe to my channel and let me know if you guys have any questions. Thank you for watching.